I'm helping a friend set up her online shop, and the best advice I've given her is to set it up on Shopify. Anita and I did, and we could not have been happier. And one of the best features of Shopify is that purple pay button. It is so easy to use. It's iconic. You can't miss it. And if you are setting up an online shop, you definitely want it. It makes purchasing so easy. You don't have to look for your credit card. You don't have to remember passwords. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household name brands to your brand. You can get started with your own design studio. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates, and they help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. And then you can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And what if you get stuck? Shopify is always around to share advice and their award-winning 24/7 customer support. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/DTT. Go to shopify.com/DTT. That's shopify.com/DTT. I'm helping a friend set up her online shop, and the best advice I've given her is to set it up on Shopify. Anita and I did, and we could not have been happier. And one of the best features of Shopify is that purple pay button. It is so easy to use. It's iconic. You can't miss it. And if you are setting up an online shop, you definitely want it. It makes purchasing so easy. You don't have to look for your credit card. You don't have to remember passwords. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household name brands to your brand. You can get started with your own design studio. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates, and they help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. And then you can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And what if you get stuck? Shopify is always around to share advice and their award-winning 24/7 customer support. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/DTT. Go to shopify.com/DTT. That's shopify.com/DTT. I know you want to know. Hey everybody, it's Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today, we're talking all about style. Do you have it? And how to get it. And we're talking style with a capital S, that often elusive something that's hard to find, but obvious when you see it. So we'll give you some things to ponder to decide whether you currently have style for your interiors, and tips on how to get it or get it even better.
You know, Kelly, obviously we talk about a very visual subject on an audio-only platform. So we're both used to talking about things that we can't really see.
Interestingly enough, because it is something that you can't really necessarily put your fingers on, maybe it's good, just as like it's been since 2017, that we're talking about something that they can't actually see, but they'll take their words in and think about it. And then we're going to give resources and some style icons to check out. If you don't know them already, there will be a couple of women that we talk about towards the end of the episode that you're definitely going to want to explore and just get inspired by their personal style for their interiors and just their entire ways of life. So again, we're talking about style with a capital S. It's not whether you're traditional or mid-century modern or farmhouse or what have you. This style is the ability to put things together in such a way that it defies a particular look, but it expresses you, and it has that special something. What did the French say, Anita? The
je ne sais quoi.
There you go.
I was going to say, it was right on the tip of my my tongue. Right. I mean, looking at the definition, the thing that I found that kind of resonated with me, a few definitions here, is a distinctive manner of expression, the state of being popular, fashionable elegance, and beauty, grace, or ease of manner or technique.
Ooh, that all sounds so good. I want to be all those things. And I'm going to say right from the get-go, girlfriend, you've got style in your home, in your interiors, in your just way of living, in your teacup and silver spoon, in the way that you put a vignette together. Your entire life is curated beautifully. And it feels like it's effortless when I'm looking at you and watching what you do.
Well, thank you. I thought you were talking about the listener at first until you started mentioning teacups. I thought, wait a minute. That's me. But back at you, I mean, with your beautiful florals and your fabulous garden and outdoor spaces and gorgeous Victorian home. And the beauty of style is you don't have to have my style. You don't have to have Kelly's style to be in style. You just need your own style. And that's the beauty of this. It really is. We are really talking about your own personal style.
Exactly.
That's specific to you. And we really encourage you to develop your own style that is not a copy of somebody else, but is specific just to you.
Exactly. Not only is it the beauty of it, it is the heart of it. You have to put your own mark on it. You can do this. And I bet so many of you are already doing it. Maybe you don't even know you're doing it. So take a step back and take a look. But I think at the heart of having true style is having confidence. Because sometimes when you are developing your style, in fact, all the times when you achieved your style, you need to go out on the ledge a little bit. You need to take some risks. You don't want to look like you went to Target and bought everything from Magnolia Home. You want to make it absolutely your own. And sometimes that's a little scary. And sometimes you're not sure if it's going to work out. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't. And that's okay too, because you're going to learn from that. So confidence. I want all of you to have confidence in what you're doing. And know if it doesn't work out, you can laugh it off. And hopefully it didn't cost you a lot of money, but you're going to learn from it. And you're going to get confidence by doing a lot of things that we're going to talk to you about doing today. But initially, when we're saying, do you have style? How to get it? There's some questions to ask yourself. And very simple, like 3 questions. Am I copying someone else? Have I taken some risk? Do my interiors reflect me, my personality, and the personality of the people who live there with me? So if you're answering to that quiz, no, yes, yes, you've probably got style already.
Absolutely. And another thing I want to talk about is a misconception about this whole concept. And that is some people are born with it. And if you don't already have it, it's too late. So sad. That is so not true. And I learned that when I used to do charcoal drawings. I mean, the only way you improve is by continuing to draw. You're not going to get better at anything unless you're doing it over and over and over again. I mean, I really think of it like a muscle. You're not going to get stronger unless you're using that muscle over and over again. Now, we're not all going to be Olympic athletes. I gave that up a long time ago. So
I want to go back to the chalk drawings. I didn't know you did chalk drawings. And now that I know you were possibly going to be an Olympic athlete.
Well, no, I was never. Well, let me back. I was
joking.
never going to be.
I knew you were kind of kidding about that. But that's funny you should say that. A total aside. I was thinking last night as I'm falling asleep, I'm like, there's so many things in life that you've done that you may still do, but there's a few things that as I'm falling asleep, I know I'll never be an Olympic athlete. Like that ship sailed.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, and when I was a figure skater, I could jump on one side, but the other side, I couldn't.
Okay, wait a minute. So you were a figure skater?
Yes, of course I was a figure skater.
Of course you were. I had a great outfit, but I don't know that I would call myself a figure skater. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have to talk all about that. But let's get back to what we're talking about.
Let's get back to this. But anyway, let me get back to this. So, but it's really true. Because I think people just look at their house and go, well, I just don't have style. But you can't just look at your house and say, I don't have style. I think you've got to, have you worked on it? Have you tried? And we're going to give you some tips on how to do this, because it's not just like you can't just, if you've not worked on your house, you can't just look around your house and just use that to decide if you have style or not. And it's really something that you can improve. And a lot of people think artistic things you can't improve on, but that absolutely is not true. It is spending time on it. That's how you get better.
Absolutely agree. And just, can you tell everyone that we are pretty passionate about this particular topic? We've never actually drilled down to style. We've talked about different styles of how to decorate and elements to use, but true style. This is so exciting. And we're hitting on something that we are just so continually passionate about, and passionate about passing it along to you, this passion and excitement and confidence. And I couldn't agree with Anita more. You need to practice. You love interiors like we love interiors. So you want to do this. It's playing. It's not hard work, but have the confidence that you can do it.
If you have some failures, guess what? You learn more from your failures than you do when you get it right. So bravo. Mm-hmm. Make a note of it. Take a picture and don't do that again.
A myth to bust right now is style is not dependent on a lot of money, spending a lot of money, having a lot of money, buying luxurious things. That is absolutely not true. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to have style.
If you have some real constraints, like financial constraints, it's going to force you to get very creative. And that creativity usually turns into a really fabulous style. Gather a lot of great ideas. Buy some decorating books or get some out at the library. Take pictures of the pages that really appeal to you.
Ooh, you're sneaky. Take pictures of the pages.
Well, I don't know. That may be a copyright violation.
If I see you in the aisles at Barnes & Noble and the flash is going off, we'll know what you're doing.
Well, you probably don't need to do that. You can probably just find them on Pinterest.
Hey, you know what? If you do it, just don't tell them you heard it here when they catch you. Just don't tell anybody.
Well, it might be okay if it's just for your own personal use, but you can't share it with anybody or whatever. But anyway, I don't know what the copyright rules are on that. Yeah, and if it's really inspiring, you go buy the book because you're going to want it anyway. Go on some home tours. Maybe if there's a house for sale that you just love the interior, go when they have that Sunday open house.
Oh, I love that.
And check it out. You have to go beyond your house to get this initial inspiration. I think it's okay to copy certain elements, but what you said, Kelly, I think is spot on. You do not want to copy somebody start to finish where everything is a copy of somebody else. You definitely want to have your own look, but you've got to start somewhere. And I think copying certain elements of somebody else's style, I think is perfectly acceptable.
I am truly excited to tell you about the world's #1 expanding garden hose and their brand new product, the Pocket Hose Ballistic. I'm a serious gardener. I need serious tools, and I need a serious, hard-working hose. So the Pocket Hose is the hose for me, and it is the #1 expandable hose in the entire world. It's super lightweight, easy to manage, easy to store. You turn the water on, and it grows. Turn the water off, and it shrinks back to pocket size. And it comes with the pocket pivot, which gives you total freedom of movement at the spigot with 360-degree rotation. You move, it follows, and the water flows, and your garden grows. It's enhanced with an upgraded UV coating, so the hose looks new year after year. And it has re-engineered thicker washers that resist leaks. And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text, so this is a text offer. So just text DTT to 64,000. That's DTT to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Text DTT to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. Why in the past have you had to rely on a small optometrist office or a place in the mall for your eyeglass frames? They're such a crucial accessory, and you got to get it right. But all that has changed with Warby Parker. Seriously, nothing comes closer on quality, price, selection, customer service, and style. And their virtual try-on is a total game changer. You can literally try on glasses from your phone before you buy. I have a couple of pairs of Warby Parker, and they are my favorite go-to glasses, the Esme and the Tilly. I get compliments on them every time I slip them on. And their prescription glasses start at $95, so you can actually get quality and stylish frames at an affordable price. And Warby Parker doesn't just offer incredible prescription glasses. They have everything you need for happier eyes. Contacts, online eye exams, and sunglasses. Warby Parker is also covered by major insurance plans. Right now, buy one prescription pair and get 20% off any additional prescription pairs at warbyparker.com/DTT. That's 20% off additional prescription pairs when you go to Warby, WARBY, Parker.com/DTT. So interpret things, get inspired. If you like a certain look, there's no reason why you couldn't bring in certain elements of that, but we don't want a carbon copy of what you saw in a magazine or saw on Instagram or saw in a blog or saw in your neighbor's house. So you want to get inspired by everything that's out in the world. It might not be a room or a home. It might just be a color. It could be a color you see in a flower. It could be the color of the persimmon that's sitting in your fruit bowl or something. You want to get your eyes wide open and all the possibilities that will then become yours. And then you can develop this incredible style. As you go on and you get more and more confidence, and even if you've had some trip ups and some failures, that's going to add to your confidence because you know you can get beyond it. You paint something a certain color and you're like, oh, Anita and I have both painted rooms that we didn't like, right? And it's just, it's a heartbreak when it happens and it's not even dry and and then you look the next morning and then you just have to do it over, right? Mm-hmm. But then next time, do not pick a cool yellow. I did that once. Never going to do that again.
Or a soft one.
Let's be very, very careful in those two categories. So, yes. So, back to that first fabulous tip is that, you've got to practice. You've got to try it out. And you could try this in small ways. You don't have to say, I'm going to practice by doing over my entire house and throwing out all the furniture I have because I don't think right now I have style. No, start on a small scale. It could be starting with a vignette. You could be playing with 3 elements, 5 elements. You could be designing your tray. That then could start to build your confidence and give you the idea of where you want to go with this. You don't have to start big. It can be very small, and you don't have to do everything in one day. You don't have to do everything in 1 year. And certainly you really shouldn't do it all at once, but you can start super small, perfect it on a small scale, get your confidence, see where you're going with it, and then move on.
I think this practicing is really important, like you were saying, Kelly. And one of the things that I think people can do is move things from one room to another, move things from one table to another. I like to rotate chairs from one room to another. Try a particular chair in all of your rooms. Just rotate them all. Move everything around. Some things are going to work, some things aren't. But guess what? This is totally free, moving something from one room to another. You'll begin to see not only what works best in your house, but you'll begin to kind of pick up what works and what doesn't work in a general sense that you can apply in the future. As you make these changes, I think it makes an imprint with you, and you kind of get a sense of what's working and what's not working. And that is going to serve you very well going forward. And it may not feel like you're learning things, but you are.
Along the lines that you're learning it, you may not know it. It's kind of like when you're in something, it's hard to see the bigger picture. Literally and figuratively, step back often. Anybody who's a decorator does this. You do it all the time, Anita. I'm sure. I do it all the time. Arrange something, step back and look. So maybe you have to take a real long step back, the figurative step back, and sort of take it all in as you're going along and you're developing this fabulous style that's just going to blow everybody away. On a smaller scale, you do a bookcase, step back and see what it looks like. You're going to see where you need to change things and where things are really working. And then once you get that going, then you can sort of repeat that over and over in different ways, in different rooms, different areas in the same room.
Oh, bookcases are so fun to work with because there's so many surfaces. So you can really try so many different things there. That's a great ground to play with. And it's so easy to move things from one shelf to another. I love doing that. Another thing to think about is, do you have a collection or something in your home that kind of gives you some energy, that excites you? Because that's something that you can include as part of your personal style. So for me, it's dishes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say ice skating.
No.
Not anymore.
My ice skates are safely tucked away. So the dishes are kind of part of my style. I love them. I love using them. I display them everywhere I can. And I even have favorite kinds. I've gotten rid of so many dishes, and so I've been honing my collection, but it's definitely a part of my style. So I'm just going to mention a few other things that are part of my style because I really have kind of a country French leaning, but I call it farmhouse French. I include kind of a round top feel to it, which is kind of a country or Texas feel to mixed with the French. I kind of the rustic with the refined, but also I like to use silver, a lot of silver plated items, grain sacks. So these are just kind of my signature things I like to have when I'm decorating a room. Is I like to have a little silver, maybe a few dishes, maybe some grain sacks that I use for upholstery. These are some things that I like to use. And I know, Kelly, I don't know, I'm sure you have a few things that you like to mention. I know you have your white ironstone pictures. That's kind of part of your look.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I mean, I know this because I know your style so well, but I never really thought about how we cross over so much. But at the end of the day, our looks are very different. Our color palettes are very different, and we interpret these same things in a different way. So even if anybody who's listening just wanted to go back to our blogs or my YouTube and looked at our houses and could see how we've developed our style over time and how we actually overlap so much, because you're saying rustic and refined. I clearly do that. Lots of silver. Mine might be more tarnished than yours, but I love that, right? And grain sacks definitely make an appearance. Our limited color palettes, although the colors are very different, are very similar. The idea that we like to have a lot of natural light, and there's so many overlaps, but it's so interesting how you can take the same elements and really interpret them in very different ways. I have more modern looking pieces, which I've only really started doing in the last, I would say, 6 or so years as I was doing this house. And by the time I got to do the actual decorating, maybe it's only been about 3 years, but it's been on my mind for a while. I love how the more modern pieces like my Barcelona-esque chaise and some of my more modern side tables and lamps just bang up against and create this tension with the gilded mirrors and obviously the interior woodwork and whatnot in my house, the tin ceilings with an arcing gold lamp. I love how that bangs up against each other and it creates this very individual look.
I love it too. I think it very much works for you. And there are certain pieces that just seem to work with lots of different styles. So this is what we're talking about, kind of. You're probably drawn to certain pieces, and those could be kind of some signature pieces that you use in your design. And, we can't tell you what that is. That's something that you need to go figure out. But it's probably something in your house somewhere. Maybe you've been afraid to display it or use it, but it's something that you love a lot. So I bet there's something in your house. So maybe that's something to think about.
I like that. Maybe add that to the questions that we asked at the beginning. Is there something in your house that you really love, that really resonates with you? And maybe you may be afraid, or maybe just couldn't figure out how to work it in before. I've been overwhelmed by the positive response to my app, Home Design Coach. Are you one of the many DTT listeners already working with me on the app? Well, if not, give it a go. Head to studio.com/Kelly to learn more about Home Design Coach and see if it's right for you. You can take the quiz, get your personalized plan, and then you can decide whether to subscribe. There's no obligation, just opportunity. An opportunity to work with me to create a home you truly love. Studio.com/Kelly. Hope to see you there. Here's another tip coming at you is make sure you're really comfortable with this style. Now, again, of course, it's style with capital S. That's what we're talking about today. It's not whether you're comfortable with mid-century modern and whatnot, but back to developing this style. So don't want to develop a style that really doesn't suit your personality or the way you live your life. You really want to take into consideration the architecture of your home and the geography. I think that always has to be taken into consideration when you're decorating, but when you're actually developing your signature style, that is really important.
Definitely. I mean, I think you do need to take that into account, but just because your house is a particular style doesn't mean you have to follow it exactly. It just needs to not
no.
clash,
Not
right?
that it doesn't. Yeah, because if it did, I would have doilies and things on my table. No, I don't mean that you have to follow it exactly, but you have to take it into consideration. It can definitely create tension. It can be a little bit different, but it's got to work with it.
I think it's important to know the trends, but then really do your own thing. I think it's fine to go against the trends, and sometimes you're going to make more of a bold, I mean, it's definitely more bold to not follow the trends, but your style is going to feel more unique and more unusual if you don't follow the trends. And a lot of times that's kind of more of a way to kind of become a style maker than following a trend. You know, it's really kind of about creating your own style rather than following others. Because if you're constantly following the trends, then you're just following what everyone else is doing. And that's kind of the opposite of what we're talking about. I think it's good to know what they are. So if you kind of go a different direction, just be aware that you're doing that.
Right. Well, knowledge is power, just like in anything, but it really is good to know, be aware of what's going on out there. And, you know, you love this stuff, everybody. So you're going to want to know that. And we tell you all the time what the trends are. And you're definitely going to want to personalize it. That is the hallmark of style. So where practice is going to get you there, the hallmark of having an individual style is to personalize it. And that doesn't mean you have to have a giant gallery wall of pictures of your entire family from the minute someone was born until they graduated from college and all those things. You need to personalize it in a way that works for you. Someone might come into your house and not even know that that is a particularly personal item or is so meaningful for whatever reason. I.e., it doesn't have to be a photograph or something that's just so glaringly of your past. It can be something you picked up in your travels. It can be a shell that found on the beach. It can be a bunch of crystals. It can be whatever, but something that speaks to you. So we talked a lot about taking a risk. Areas to take a risk: color, buying an antique, or one of Anita's favorite things, ditching something you really don't like. That could be a risk too. Just get rid of it. Haul it out. Because it might completely change your style. Now, we're not even just talking about the look of a room. It just might completely enable you, if you had this albatross in your house, to take a different direction and really achieve the style that you were destined to have.
Listen, this resale furniture is got rockin' prices these days.
Yeah.
So if you're going to sell something, do it now.
Right. And the last thing I would suggest as a tip is buy less and buy better. So as we said, you don't have to have buckets of cash to develop a gorgeous style for yourself. Just let me underline it. You really don't have to. And you really don't have to buy a lot of things. Buy less things and buy better things. And know you're only going to get better at this because you're going to take our first and foremost tip and to practice. And you're going to get it. If you don't think you have style now, we know you will. And we know you probably do already.
Absolutely.
I'm usually talking to you about Quince home decor. Today, I want to focus on their clothing. My closet is brimming with Quince. The fabrics feel elevated, the fits are flattering, and everything just works without overthinking it. I absolutely love everything from Quince, but in particular, the lightweight cotton cashmere link stitch dolman sweater, which I just simply call my favorite, is my go-to piece. It is such a flattering sweater. Every time I wear it, people stop me and ask me where I got it. And one of the best things about this sweater is it's $39.90. You cannot beat that price, and the quality is amazing. Quince makes it easy to refresh your everyday this spring with pieces that feel as good as they look. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middleman. So you're paying for quality and craftsmanship, not brand markup. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Okay, so who's your style icon you want everybody to check out, Anita?
So I was really kind of looking for someone with a very unique look. So I thought of Paula Sutton at Hill House Vintage on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
because she has a very personal style and her house has a very unique style. So she dresses in vintage clothing. She has a gorgeous home in the English countryside. It's full of vintage and antique furniture. It looks beautiful. She's often photographed outside with a picnic or on her vintage bicycle. And she always has a big smile. I would say that's part of her style, is that she always has a big smile. I'll include a link to her Instagram page. She definitely has a very unique style that's very beautiful.
So my style icon, and we're all style icons or would be style icons, but India Hicks is somebody who just lives a really beautiful life. I mean, sure, she is related to royalty and her father was the famous designer David Hicks, but, anybody can develop style.
And she was a bridesmaid or, I don't know, flower girl at Princess Diana's wedding.
Well, yes, because she's the cousin to Prince Charles. So she should have said, Psst, Diana, maybe think twice. She just seems like somebody that you would want to sit down and have a cup of tea with, or maybe a beer or a glass of wine. She just seems like a really real person, despite her, her background and her upbringing. I think that she is somebody that everybody should check out. She just makes everything look so effortless.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Her home is English country, the way we love it. Then she also has homes in the Bahamas, and I think spends most of the year there. She also has several books. I think she has 5 books to her name. Definitely fall down India Hicks' rabbit hole. You're going to learn a lot just looking at it, and nothing is going to scream at you like, I designed this way. It's that thing. It's the je ne sais quoi. It's that you can't even put your finger on it, but it just feels right when you see it. She has true style.
I adore her homes, and she's very elegant.
Very elegant, yes.
Yeah, so and both these style icons have very different looks. So
yes, that's absolutely right. And the DTT defines is
pearlcore. This is an iridescent, so it's kind of something that you can put in your house that has kind of a pearly feel to it. So it might be some tiles or maybe a tray, but something that's got that iridescence like a pearl does.
Like capice, would that count?
Well, I would count that, sure.
Very pretty. And if anybody doesn't know, capice is kind of like a mother of pearly material. You see a lot of chandeliers in that. Wow. Okay. Is that like cottage core? Like, what's with the core thing?
Well, I don't know.
Pearl core. I like it. I think I would like to add a little bit of that. It's good to have a little shimmer. So my crush is the Great Grow Along. I received an email from a lovely woman about this event, and I checked it out and I wanted to share it with everyone. So there are going to be tons of garden content for all levels of gardener, some DIY, some education, even some happy hours. The link will be in the show notes to the Great Grow Along.
I'm going to include a link to Paula Dean's living room tour. She just moved into a house she hasn't lived in for a while and completely redid the kitchen and the living room. And the living room, I think, is done very nicely.
Okay, fun stuff to look at.
Remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.